everyone, Tech Steve here, back in the studio, and I want to share with you some of the different technologies that I found in television and projectors when it comes to 2024 CES show over in Las Vegas. Now, this is a huge event. In fact, I walked 27 miles to film some of this footage, and that's including going to some private events. But let's take a look so you can kind of get an idea of some concepts and some new products that may be released for this year. When you first get to the show, the first thing you notice is LG displays. They have this massive panel of television that moves back and forth to show you the wireless LG technology. The TV is called the T1, and I made a video about that, but the concept is that this TV has a transparent screen, and with a press of the button, you can have a screen that rises from the back of it to give you those inky black levels to turn it into more of a full OLED television. LG is powered by WebOS, but what makes it very unique is that the way they had it set up, when you play content on it, it would show the part of the content on the sidewall, so it really immersed you into experience to show the possibility of WebOS. LG also had this concept car where the seats would turn around backwards facing the passenger, and it was completely autonomous driving going on. And it has a steering wheel that comes up from the floor if you really want to manually drive. One thing that made this particular one unique is that they say that in the morning you can be fast asleep and this car can go over to your local store and pick up a delivery, so whenever you wake up, your breakfast will be ready to go. If you're on the go, LG makes a briefcase with a display in it, and they call it Stand By Me. With this screen being 1080p, it allows you to connect it to Wi-Fi, and it has a custom menu system so you can use the applications anywhere you go. But apparently it's a big hit overseas, but I haven't yet to see one here in the United States. Besides Bluetooth speakers and some concepts, it looks like they're going to be getting into the hotel business where they're going to have these huge micro LED panels that can display on the wall. And they will be updating their higher end TVs to the newer 11th generation processor. Next, I made my way over to the Hisense booth where they have 5 TVs that's going to be coming out for 2024, sometimes probably after summer. But they also have a big push for laser TV where they had concepts inside of cars, and I made some YouTube shorts on that if you want to take a look at some of those different products. So I had to film these in a dark room, but this is the actual picture on the Hisense 65-inch U6N, and apparently this TV should be available from a 55-inch all the way up to an 85-inch. Chances are that it's still going to be a 60 Hz panel, but will include features like Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos outputs, plus it will still use the last year remote control. Now, in my opinion, the U6K from last year was a phenomenal TV for the price point, and I expect this one to be just as good. Next, we have the 65-inch U7N that's been upgraded from 1000 nits of peak brightness up to 1500 nits of peak brightness. The thing about this TV is that it's going to be available from a 55-inch all the way up to a massive 100-inch, and this is based off of the sales from the U8K 100-inch from last year. Now, this TV is probably going to have 144 Hz, filmmakers mode, IMAX. I did want to point out that this model and the U8N both gets a new remote control, which has this silver look to it, and the great thing is now it has backlights that stays on that's going to make it easier to find in the dark. And finally, we have the Hisense U8N. This is going to be the flagship model for the average consumer, ranging from a 55-inch up to a 100-inch, just like last year. And some of the things about this TV is that this TV will have up to 3000 nits of peak brightness. And I did want to mention that this lineup of TV is supposed to have a new software called Google TV 3. And the difference on this software, besides the 7,000 movies and 10,000 applications you can download, it actually was built to give you better brightness and contrast. Plus, it will support Dolby Vision, IMAX Enhanced, and Filmmakers Mode right inside of the television to give you that theater quality picture. And I was happy to see that they now have a new gaming bar as well, so it looks a lot more polished than the previous models. What really took the show is the 98UX, which is considered a flagship model with 5,000 nits and 10,000 local dimming zone. This TV will be a step above the U8N, but if you really want to go for broke, you definitely want to consider looking at the 110-inch UX series, an incredible 10,000 nits of peak brightness with 40,000 local dimming zones. I wish they had some prices on these models because that TV looks so great, but who knows how much it's really going to cost. But if it ever hits the market, will at least be able to know by looking online, because chances are I won't get one in the studio. And to have a little fun, they had a simulated car set up, so I just went and played it for a minute. But here's the clip. So I'm at the Hisense display, and this is the InSim simulator.
InSim simulator, and then we're showcasing the Hisense gaming monitor.
So these are all 32 inches.
Yeah, 32 inches, 1000R curvature, 165 hertz refresh rate, so super low latency, perfect for gaming. And you know, that high refresh rate, it's amazing for a screen of this size, you know.
Absolutely. So let's give it a shot, see what happens. So I'm over at the TCL event, and they have a monitor here. This is a ultra wide screen. It's 177 hertz, which is great, and that's at 4K resolution. But let's try this out and see if I have any kind of skills. Whoa. I stopped the video right there because I try not to promote violence on this channel. There's just too much going on in the world. But anyways, walking up to the TCL booth, they have the QD Mini LED waterfall. This is a huge display, and it was phenomenal to see at an event like this. And they did have a line of new TVs to displays, including this 5 series, which now should include 120 hertz, 4K capabilities with a VA panel, and direct LEDs. This TV will also have HDMI 2.1, powered by the Google operating system, but it still won't have the ATSC 3.0 TV tuner, which is okay. Next we have the QLED 6 series, and this TV will also be 120 hertz. With the game accelerator, it will support the VRR, FreeSync, and it will have the auto low latencies. And this TV will have 3 HDMI 2.1s. Plus it is powered by the Google operating systems. So I do expect this to be a popular TV for TCL for 2024. Now this is where TCL stepped it up. So last year the 7 series didn't have mini LED, but this year the 7 series now have the QD mini LED, 144 hertz of VRR, and AMD FreeSync premium support. Looks like they're going to be adding a subwoofer with a 2.1 audio system. And according to the latest information, this TV will have up to 2000 nits of brightness and 1300 local dimming zones. But if you really want to step it up, the new 8 series is going to be phenomenal with mini LED technology, 120 hertz display, and it's expected to have a 2.1.2 channel speaker system. So it looks like some major improvements there. But the biggest kicker is that you might be looking up to 5,000 local dimming zones and 5,000 nits of peak brightness. It's more likely to be available up to 115 inch with the ATSC 3.0 TV tuner and support for a 240 variable refresh rate. But really what took the show was this 115 inch QM89. This TV is going to have one of the most powerful chipset with the APQ Ultra. The peak brightness on this TV is going to be up to 5,000 nits. It's going to have 20,000 local dimming zones, a 6.2.2 channel audio system, plus it will support 120 hertz with VRR levels up to 240 with the gaming accelerator, and a motion rate up to 480, which is going to smooth out all of those action scenes or 24 frames per second movies. So according to what I see, this new TCL lineup is going to be very impressive, especially on the 7 series moving over to mini LED. So let's see what happens whenever all these TVs come out. Now here in the United States, we don't have Panasonic, but they did have a display set up showing their latest OLED televisions. But the most impressive thing about these TVs is that they have front-firing speakers, they have a swivel base, and they will support HDMI 2.1. The remote control has all the full functions that you would need, and I wish they will bring these back to the United States, but only the future will tell. It does appear that Motorola does have some TVs that might come here in the United States, but keep in mind CES is all about concepts. But the TVs didn't look that bad. I just wish they had them in better lighting so we could really see how they perform. Another thing I want to check out is the AWOL display, because I did make a video for them in the past, but they had 2 projectors side by side where you can create this 21:9 aspect movie, and this is going to be great for someone who has a large home. They work in sequence. They also had this 3D setup with glasses, so I put them on to check it out. And it appeared that everything on the screen was jumping right towards me, which was a great experience to have. And if you was thinking about having a projector outside, AWOL is working with a company to create a outdoor case so you could put this outside of your home and leave it there more permanently. but I don't know which level of waterproof it is, but it's a great concept to think about. But even when I had this screen in my home, the ultra short throw projectors simply is very impressive for people who want to set these up in their movie rooms. So that's all we have for this video, but the whole thing of going to CES for me is to show you the newer products coming out, and I really want to focus on TVs and not all the cool gadgets they have there, which I got a chance to check out. But one of the number one things is to collaborate with other YouTubers. So I got a chance to meet Be The Installer, Caleb from Digital Trends, Jokester, as well as Stop the FOMO, Brian Tech Therapy, KG, just to name a few. So if you guys like this video and you're excited about 2024 and what I have to offer, there's some new great things coming to the channel. I'm Tech Steve. Thanks all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.